Hey everybody, it's Greg Milby, Community Storyteller for Kentucky's Heartland. Welcome to our monthly PAC Spotlight, where we shine the spotlight on a current PAC participant and a past PAC participant. But this time it's really not a past because we're confused because Grace is like yes and no on that answer.
It's been a number of things. Due to COVID, the PAC Spotlight is kind of transmogrified into this thing where we
Can you spell? By the way, Bart Lovins, director of the Hardin County Schools Performing Arts Center, and apparently a wordsmith.
I've been playing Wordle.
What's the word again?
I've been doing Wordle, man. I'm all over it.
Don't get me started on that. You say that word loud enough in this office, and it becomes an hour conversation.
Oh, no.
So anyway.
I actually just found out about Wordle
All right,
this
so
weekend.
what's the word?
Transmogrification.
Okay.
That's when something happens, and this is what it is. But over time, it changes and evolves and becomes something else entirely different than what it was intended to be at the beginning.
Oh, I thought that
Evolution.
was the movie that had the Decepticons in it.
No,
Sorry.
no.
Yeah.
Totally different. All right, so
Robots in disguise.
the wonderful lady on the end is Grace Peet. I was going to butcher her name just for the fun of it. But really, you can't. I don't think you can.
It's pretty difficult.
You have to try to butcher your
Correct.
name.
Yeah.
But people have in the past.
Yes, I had a science teacher. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he misread it on roll call or whatever, but he spelled and said my name as if it were Grack, Grack, for an entire year. At some point, it became my fault because I should have corrected him. I did not. Since then, I used to make the joke when substitutes came in and they went, if I say your name incorrectly, just let me know and I'll move on. I used to make the joke, I'd like to see you try. I don't make that joke anymore.
Yeah. You don't, we live in a world that don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
All right, so Brian Reneau.
Yes.
I practiced that on the way in, and I was 50-50 on which side I was going to go. Reneau or Reneau, but it's Reneau.
Yes.
Good.
I've actually heard renew before, as in renewing a book. It's
Well, that's not
interesting.
bad. Yeah.
It's interesting how you get that.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's start with you, Brian. So first of all, what are you going to do for a living?
My plans are to go to ECTC, get an associate's in welding, and hopefully do some industrial welding.
All right. Where do you go now?
I'm currently going to North Hardin High School,
Okay. What grade?
senior.
If you were going to tell me you were a freshman, I'm like, you are the manliest freshman. You're like the manliest senior, too, in a way. You know?
I look like a freshman next to you.
Not really sure that is the biggest accomplishment, Brian. So you want to be a welder?
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
Why the interest in welding?
I just like working with my hands. Metal is just cool, and it just seems interesting. I've seen some videos on YouTube welding, and
That makes money too. Welders do all right. So what have you had a chance to see at the PAC?
a long time ago, I saw Into the Woods, which my mother was part of. Remember nothing about it, but I went there. And then more recently, I saw Cinderella. My sister is in a dance studio, and so she was part of that. And yeah.
So what have people had a chance to see you on the stage at?
I've really only been on stage for a production once, which was the Nutcracker, a few months ago. Yeah.
Were you like one of the twirler ladies, or
No.
I don't know who they are. I just
He was a sugar plum
What are
fairy.
you watching?
Well, when I go to
The twirly ladies.
Look, we are all honest, right? We're all amongst friends here.
Are we?
Well, I'm being honest. I watch until I see the snow come. I'm like, okay, this is where we're going to take a break. And then on the other side, I kind of get a little more of that. The first part, I'm kind of lost.
Yeah.
So you're not the twirly person.
No,
Okay.
no. I was in the very beginning party scene. Yeah.
Oh, one of the dancer
Cool.
guys.
Not really. I was just kind of there.
Party guest.
Yeah.
You were
guest.
party. They didn't let you dance.
Well,
yes,
yeah,
you
it,
did.
My
it was
gosh.
a dance. It
Where'd
wasn't
you
very.
pick this guy? Why is he even
It
here?
wasn't very flamboyant, but yes, we did dance a little bit.
So what have you done at the PAC?
Pretty much that, and I had a choir concert there.
Okay. Now we're getting into it.
Several
All
months
right.
ago, and this will be my first starring role this month with Beauty and the Beast. Yeah.
Okay.
He's Belle.
Is that?
She's a twirly lady.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But okay, Brian. Let me ask you. He's a twirly lady.
I love twirling.
So Brian, let me ask you this now. I mean, is that a compliment when they say, "Oh, you would make a perfect beast"?
I mean, they told me that after I sang, so I would take that as a compliment.
Okay, all right.
Saying I could sing well enough to be the Beast, but maybe if they were commenting on my appearance, maybe not.
Okay.
Now, because I've seen a number of different productions of Beauty and the Beast, are you also the prince?
At the end, I am, but in the beginning,
They have
I am
a
not.
stunt prince at the beginning.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. That makes sense if you've seen it or
Oh, I've seen Beauty and the Beast.
yeah. Well, I mean the stage
How
production.
offensive, Bart.
Well,
It's quite odd though, because the young prince in the beginning is a lot taller than I am and a lot thinner than I am.
Well, as you get older,
Well, look at me.
you start
Yeah.
to. Bart was 6'5" when he was 15. It's just,
I don't believe
he's
it.
going, he's going backwards. So, what has the PAC experiences meant to you?
It's really wonderful. I love being a part of productions. I have a lot of interests, and yeah, it's nice to see what goes on backstage and what goes into making these stories come into fruition, and yeah, it's just wonderful.
And I've said this numerous times that there needs to be a behind the scenes video. Maybe we should do that.
Yeah,
That where people can see what happens back there. Because when you're in the audience, you have no idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is impressive what happens backstage. Even like the time checks that you guys do.
yeah.
When you've got the official and you're like hitting the mic, and I'm like, oh, that's like good stuff. That's good stuff. So,
And Grace knows a lot about that because she's done a lot on that side of things.
Good
as
deal.
well. She's been our production manager for Sherlock the last 4 years, and she's assisting Sarah Dakin right now with their production at Central of Schoolhouse Rock.
I might have heard about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Grace Peet, by the way, on the end there. So you've participated in a lot of stuff at the PAC, right?
Yes.
Don't tell me you haven't. Don't fib and say, oh, I've done a couple of things. You've been around the block there a little bit.
Well,
All 4 of the Sherlock Holmes.
I've actually only been the production manager for 3 of
Right.
those because around the time of the 3rd one, Bart called me and went, I have a question for you. And I was like, great, what's the question? And he went, I gave Holly Bannister your job. And I was like, that is not a question. Okay.
That's offensive. Yeah.
And then he asked me to be on stage for that one, which was a question and was appreciated.
Well, that's good. So now that you just wrapped up Sherlock Holmes, and we'll talk to Bart about that here in a couple of minutes. Well, and when you just, how does that make you feel? Because I mean, that's a 19-year
It was a
run. It
commitment.
seems like it seems like a 19-year run.
It was like, we talked about it was like closing a situation comedy that's ran for 4 years. I mean, that's kind of it's that same kind of family. We've all people come and go, but then there's that core group of people who have been involved for 4 years. And it's like we put a lot of time into this.
For sure. I don't know if you can hear, but I spent a lot of Sunday afternoon very emotional and just trying to get through. That's why my voice sounds like this.
Me too.
It was one of the most incredible experiences of my life so far. I'm looking forward to the next ones. Funnily enough, it was sort of reminiscent of high school. Because when I showed up, I was 19 years old. I had never done anything backstage. And Bart just went, hey, come help me run the show. And I was like, oh, no, sure, I'll do my best. And then I spent 4 years growing tremendously. During those 4 years, I lost 2 people that I knew from high school, a classmate of mine and my old director. So Sunday, wrapping up Sherlock was a wild phenomenon for me personally because it mirrored a journey and I got to be very appreciative of the people that were still in my life for this journey and very thankful for the people that I don't have in my life anymore at the end of this journey. Couple that with the fact that the Sherlock Holmes is a phenomenal series, obviously, and what Bart did to put it on stage it's a work of art, and I'm very honored to have been a part of it and to have seen what he's done to take it from novel to stage. So it was a very good time, and I'm very thankful for it.
Good deal. Now, tell everybody what you do for a living now. I mean, what you get your paycheck from, Grace?
A little bit of everything. I've actually got 2 jobs right now.
What, are you half Jamaican? I mean, what's the deal? I mean, they like, don't the Jamaicans have like 10 jobs, right? I've used that joke for years. I hope they do, because they're like offended, like, no, we all have one job. All right, so what do you do?
I am primarily an instructional assistant at Central Hardin High School.
Good school.
It's wonderful. I've enjoyed working there so far. I work with Melanie Mosher and Kelly Eadlin in one of our low incident classes. I love my kids. They're wonderful. It's how I got involved in Schoolhouse Rock as the assistant director there. Sarah Dakin reached out and asked me to help. My second job, I was full-time as an office assistant at Remax in Elizabethtown. Now I'm part-time. I sort of show up and help get like office projects done when files need to be moved, stuff like that. So my day-to-day is between those 2 places.
Wow. You've got a lot going on there. I mean, they're not selling houses or anything, because there's nothing to sell.
There's none left to sell.
Yeah. So talk about your PAC experience. You mentioned a little bit about Sherlock Holmes. Why is the PAC so important to you?
That is a wonderful question. I don't know if words can really encapsulate that.
Do it in song. No.
We are set up for karaoke here.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Oh, dear. Not when my voice sounds like this.
Well, I'll sing along with you, and it'll sound like a songbird. You'll be fine.
Wonderful. The PAC there are a lot of places to be involved in being creative in E-Town. There are so many sources of music and art and all of that. The PAC is one of the few places where you get to do all of it. There's never really a role that can't be filled by someone, and as long as you show interest and you're willing to put the work in, you have that opportunity to not only be on stage, but be backstage, and not only be backstage, but do the work behind the scenes. Working on your off time, getting to help with costumes every once in a while, sets, designs, props in shows that have them, getting to act on stage, getting to be in musicals, stuff like that. So it's really, of all of the different creative sources, it's one of the few places where you have the opportunity to do all of those. And for us amateurs, it's an opportunity to work with professionals who have been doing this, who know what they're doing, who get paid to do this, hopefully, for a living. And see sort of what it takes to be in that field and do what they do.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you, one, for supporting the arts in our community and being a part of the PAC and working there. And 2, for supporting kids that love the PAC and love theater, like you're doing right now at Central Hardin. Because I have one of those kids over there.
I love him.
I do too. Garrett Milby, I do love you. I love you a lot. Although sometimes it may not feel like it. I love you a lot. Love you more
I
than
love
she
you.
does.
I hope it always feels like it.
She doesn't ground you, though. Anyway, so
Correct.
So Bart, talk about Sherlock Holmes as you've wrapped up this, it feels like 19-year run of Sherlock Holmes. But so how did it go? Because I know you guys lost a show on Friday night.
We lost our opening night. Ended up opening with Saturday matinee, and thankfully most of the people who had tickets Friday picked one of the other performances. We joke about it 19 years, but actually I started this series 5 years before I took this job. So I mean, it has been off and on for 25 years, part of my artistic endeavors of some sort or another.
So I would ask you how you feel about it, but I know all glasses be all fogged up and all that.
It's different. It's a different kind of feeling. I'm ready for the next phase of what Sherlock will be. I've set up the royalties for for all of these 4 scripts, and the publishing of all 4 of these scripts to be a perpetual fundraising effort for the Performing Arts Center. Long after I'm gone, they'll still be making a nickel or a dime or something when any of these scripts get sold or produced at other theaters.
Awesome.
So that's kind of the next phase, and in between the two, we're having a big celebration. at the Crown Point Movie Theater. We're inviting people to come and buy tickets to be able to see some people have seen one production or two. A lot of people missed Hound of Baskervilles last year because of the pandemic. And so we're really inviting people to come see all of them or fill in the gaps of what they missed at the Crown Point Movie Theater on that's the last Saturday in February. 26th. And throughout the day, we're showing all 4 of them. Come and be part of the celebration. See your family, your friends, local actors right there on the big screen.
And for one time and one time only, a PAC production, you will be able to eat popcorn during it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And recline your chair without getting yelled at.
You could kick your feet up. Oh, man, I'm telling you.
I mean,
once in a lifetime. Exactly.
If that's not a selling tool, Bart, that should be all over social media and the website right there. One time only. Come and eat popcorn and drop it on the floor if you want. So what else is coming up here at the PAC?
Well, the next things up for us are Kentucky Shakespeare with their production Julius Caesar, and Missoula Children's Theater with their production of Rumpelstiltskin, which I know you had some experience with your kids.
Oh yeah.
Great opportunity for families that want to dip their toe into performing. If you've got a kid 1st through 8th grade at home who's always putting on a show in the living room, this is your chance to try things out with them. It's 1-week commitment, and it's a really incredible learning experience for these students.
I've said this numerous times in interviews with us that Missoula Children's Theater, it's phenomenal to watch. And it is, there's a lot of lessons there. One, there's lessons that if a kid doesn't get a role, there's a lesson that not everything is going to go your way. There is a lesson in dedication because you have just a few nights to get all of this down. It is a lesson in herding cats because those directors herd cats for an entire week. It's impressive to see. And then at the end, you really learn what your kids' interests are, and what
they're capable
get
of.
so much more confidence when they walk off that stage after that show on Saturday. Yeah. So it is great. So if your kids are at that age and they haven't been a part of Missoula Children's Theater, definitely at least discuss it with them and see if they want to get into that. Bart, thanks for all you do, man.
You too, sir. Thank
Likewise.
you.
Thank you.
Right. And
yes.
Brian, never outdress the host. You looking dapper. You're looking dapper over there.
Thank you.
He's going. There's a prom at lunch over there at North Hardin High School.
We're going to the Rotary prom.
There you go. Oh, yeah. We're going to shoot higher on these goals. There, Brian Reneau right there. And on the end, that is Grace Peet. And this is our monthly PAC Spotlight. I'm Greg Milby, Community Storyteller, and this is Kentucky's Heartland.